fight of the night, Alex Hilton against Stephane Ouellet. A couple of Quebec-born, Quebec-raised fighters, and a big reason why 11,000 strong showed up at the Molson Center tonight. They have fought once before. We're ready to go for this one. Let's head back there now as they make their way to the ring. And more of a buzz of anticipation, I would think, taking a look at, I believe, Alex Hilton, yes, heading in behind his father, Dave Hilton Sr.
Well, this is going to be a scene. Alex Hilton, anytime you say the name Hilton in Montreal, it brings back memories of Davey Hilton Jr., of course, a great fighter, Matthew Hilton, the world champion, and Alex Hilton, all of them exciting and, huge local favorites in their time. This is kind of the end of the line for the Fighting Hilton family here. Alex is the only one who's still really active, and this is a big, big opportunity for him.
Now, he is world ranked, 6th by the WBO. He's also 5th ranked in the North American Boxing Federation, a former Canadian middleweight champ back in the 80s. Remember, the Hilton name may be more prominent back in the 80s than it has been in the 90s, but 33 years of age, had a young start to a career that has been very good. You look 33-3 with 22 knockouts, and of course, the Hilton trademark is toughness. Alex Hilton, a very tough fighter.
For people from outside the province of Quebec who haven't seen Stephane Ouellet before, they're going to get a treat. He is a very polished, very, very good professional fighter. He's got power, he's got speed, he really has it all, and he's a huge crowd favorite in Quebec.
Ranked number 2 by the World Boxing Council, Stephane Ouellet. He has faced Alex Hilton before, I believe in June of 1996, and it was Ouellet coming out victorious in that fight.
Yeah, there was a fight where Ouellet controlled most of the fight, and it ended with Alex Hilton quitting on his stool with a shoulder injury, but most people thought that Ouellet controlled that fight and dominated it for most of it.
Given their styles, how do you match them up?
Well, Alex Hilton has really got only one strategy here, and that's go for broke. He's got to come out and try and knock Stephane Ouellet out. There have been questions about Ouellet's chin. If there is any question about him, it's his chin. Alex Hilton is going to come out firing, left hooks especially. That's his best punch. I think you're going to see Ouellet box, try and move a little bit, counter what Alex Hilton's trying to do, and maybe coming on in the later rounds.
Does he have a good mix of footwork, but also boxing power, punching power?
Well, yeah, Ouellet can punch because he's so precise. He's a very precise puncher. He throws nice, short, precise, crisp punches, and that's where his power comes from.
This is what most of the fans have been waiting for at the Molson Center in Montreal. Couple of Quebecers, Alex Hilton of Ville-la-Salle, Stephane Ouellet of Jonquière, Quebec, capping off a great night of boxing and getting set for the main event for the Canadian middleweight title. Stephane Ouellet getting the big ovation from that Montreal crowd as he makes his emergence now.
Look for that crowd. You know who the favorite is tonight.
Scheduled 12 rounds for the Canadian middleweight title. Hilton and Ouellet coming up. The main event scheduled for 12 rounds. Alex Hilton, he was a Canadian middleweight champ back in 83 and 84. Wants the title back, Stephane Ouellet. Closest to you in the screen. Ranked 2nd by the WBC. Their second meeting. Ouellet won the other one. Early action here in the first round at the Molson Center in Montreal.
Rod, I don't think it's going to be much of a feeling out process here. Alex Hilton's got to come out and take it to Ouellet. His only shot is to hurt Ouellet early because he's not going to outbox Stephane Ouellet. Stephane Ouellet, such a slick fighter. Alex Hilton will be chasing him and trying to cut him down quick.
And one thing that Ouellet said he was most proud of last year fighting Maurice Adams, knocked down twice early in that bout, but got back and won it in the 5th by knockout. 23-1 and looking sharp in the center of the ring here early in this bout.
You see, Ouellet has very, very quick hands. He's very precise in his punches. Alex Hilton throws a lot of wide shots. He has power in the left hook, but he's just not as quick and not as slick as Stephane Ouellet. It's going to be very tough for him to work his way inside and make those power punches do something.
Alex Hilton, certainly a great Canadian middleweight from years past, as mentioned in the early 80s, and from a very famous boxing family, maybe the most famous in Canadian boxing history, with brothers Davey Jr. and Matthew, and trained, of course, by his father, Dave Hilton Sr.
In recent years, Alex has really been the only one of the Fighting Hiltons who's still active. But you've got to figure he's in the twilight of his career, and this might be his last real shot to get a world title fight and to make some money as well.
He's had 36 fights, 33-3, and 22 knockouts. But in tough here against the champ, Stephane Ouellet.
You see Ouellet covering very well when Hilton comes in with those wide punches and then preparing to counter.
Good crisp right landed earlier there by Ouellet. Pretty even fight so far. With under a minute to go in round number 1.
Ouellet looks like he's just looking for a way to open Alex Hilton up a little bit. You know, these guys have fought before. He does know his style. He understands it. He looks very much like he's just poised, waiting for an opportunity here. And look at that combination.
Great combination landed there. Down to a half minute to go in the opening round. Scheduled for 12.
Good body shot by Alex Hilton. A very good right to the body. And maybe that's where he should be working rather than headhunting like this. Work down to the body.
Two tough fighters. Another left there landed by Stephane Ouellet. Just seconds to go. And the end of round number 1. Two of a close Canadian middleweight title fight. Alex Hilton, former Canadian middleweight title holder. Now on your right, there just getting going in the second round. Tough, scrappy fighters.
I'm sure a lot of people outside of Montreal would assume that Alex Hilton's the attraction here, but Stephane Ouellet is a huge star in his home province. He's from Jonquière, but he'd be very much the crowd favorite in this fight and one of the most popular athletes in the province of Quebec right now.
Alex Hilton from Ville-LaSalle, been known in the Montreal area for years. Was mentioned before, along with the famous Hilton family. But it's Ouellet with more promise in the world scene now, more promise, trying to get that title fight they figure out could be coming soon. Ranked second by the World Boxing Council.
Hilton landed a couple pretty good body shots there, but Ouellet came back and answered with 2 body shots of his own. He's controlling this fight right now with his jab. Davey Hilton Sr. watching in the corner, the patriarch of the Hilton family. He and Alex haven't always been together. They've been on the outs a few times, and Alex has fought without him, but they're back together for this fight.
I mentioned Ouellet's ranking second in the WBC. Dave Sr. thinks Alex has been jobbed a bit there, and he should be rated a little bit higher. Right now in the NABF, rated 5th and ranked 6th by the WBO.
A little blood on Ouellet's forehead there. It looks like he's cut up around the scalp line, which will bleed like crazy, but shouldn't affect the fight. And you see Hilton, I think, seeing that cut, turning on the offense.
Tried to go after him on the ropes, but Ouellet smartly gets away from it, back to the center of the ring, past the halfway point of round 2.
Alex Hilton ought to go for broke right here. This might be his best chance in this fight. Ouellet's cut. He's bleeding. There's Yvonne Michel in Ouellet's corner. This is Alex Hilton's best chance right now. Turn it on and throw everything he has.
Two fighters that know each other well. They have fought before. It's been pretty even so far.
Ouellet is so slick. He's just a really nice boxer to watch, and he has good power.
Lands a left to the body, comes in for a combination. Some crisp punching there by Stephane Ouellet, the champion.
And Hilton's hurt. You can see Hilton covering and backing up. He stung him with that combination.
30 seconds now in round 2. Momentum swinging for Stephane Ouellet. Alex Hilton trying to come back and get him cornered.
Hilton got through with the right hand there, but Ouellet answers back with an elbow and a punch.
And misses with a right there. Lands the right to the body. Hilton counters but misses. Takes a left to the jaw.
And Hilton is bleeding as well. Both fighters cut.
See the blood coming down a little more profusely now on the right side of Alex Hilton's face.
Well, that's a bad-looking cut. Ouellet's cut is up by the scalp line, which I say will bleed profusely, but it shouldn't affect the fight too much. It won't come down in his eyes, but Hilton looks like he's cut in the right eyebrow, and that will be trouble.
Bon, voici. Ouellet, c'est au front.
Oui, c'est une légère entaille.
Des meilleurs coups.
See the shot underneath from Stephane Ouellet.
Nice little kind of half-hook uppercut, and I think that's where the cut opened, and you can see Hilton covering and Ouellet throwing combinations. Always throws his punches together, and you can see that cut there.
Et ça, c'est vers la fin. Vous voyez l'arcade de droite d'Alex. Il y a quand même pas mal de ça.
That body shot in that sequence hurt Alex Hilton. And that cut's still bleeding. That's a bad cut.
So advantage Stephane Ouellet entering the third round. That cut could be opened again soon. Could get quite nasty for Alex Hilton.
Well, Alex Hilton's career is on the line right here now. He knows how bad that cut is.
You can see Ouellet coming out and going right after it. Lands the left. But Hilton not backing off. You can see Ouellet continually jabbing, trying to get in on that cut and open it up again.
Nice right hand behind the jab. And Hilton is not punching back now.
Alex Hilton looks to be in a bit of trouble early in round number 3.
You see Ouellet is anticipating those wide shots, and then he's coming right up the middle through a nice uppercut. He's really picking Alex Hilton apart. The referee's going to have to watch that cut. It's bleeding very profusely now. Nice job by Ouellet, slipping punches there.
And Hilton takes another one. Gets into more trouble. Another left there by Ouellet. Snaps the combination. Tries to land another left there, but you can see visibly shaken now is Alex Hilton.
And Ouellet's just working now. Body, head, up and down, throwing combinations. He's in total control of this fight. Alex Hilton is dead game, and he's tough, and he's not going to back off, but he really doesn't have any answer for what Ouellet's doing here.
One of the trademarks of the Hilton family, though, is toughness. They can take a lot, and look at Alex Hilton fighting back. Land a couple of shots, but he is down now. Ouellet took a couple, and now Hilton is down.
He got hit. He took a right hand, a short right hand, I think up high around the temple, and his legs went. He's still hurt.
A right shot to the side of the head. And more trouble now. Corner, this won't last. That's it. It is over. Stephane Ouellet retains his middleweight crown.
Stephane Ouellet is a great finisher, and you know the referee stepped in there, but Dave Hilton Sr. was also in the ring. He was going to stop the fight anyway. A terrific performance by Stephane Ouellet.
Hilton took the shot initially to the side of the head and went down, and it was all Ouellet once he got up and they were fighting again. Into the corner, and no chance for Alex Hilton. Suffers the 4th defeat of his career. Stephane Ouellet, 24-1. And a world shot can't be too far away.
Winning depends on how far you dare to go. Victory requires talent, skill, and the determination to push to the limit. Living on the Edge is brought to you by Edge Shave Gel, because to win, you need the edge. This is Utah's Wasatch Mountains. 10 million years of barren landscape. Jagged cliffs and miles of muscle-tearing, wheel-bending rock. Metal and rubber, an extension of hands and feet, sensing each rock and crevice. Guided by instincts as old as this ancient mass, mountain bikers test the edge of physical endurance, the strength of their machine, and the menacing terrain of a mountain desert. Living on the Edge has been brought to you by Edge Shave Gel. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort, with 6 lubricants to help save your skin. That's the Edge.
Le nouveau champion canadien dans la catégorie des poids moyens, new Canadian champion in the middleweight division, Stephane Ouellet.
Quebec right now, middleweight champion, improving to 24-1 in his second victory over Alex Hilton in less than 2 years. Hilton losing his fourth fight as a pro, and really losing it, Stephen, I think, after suffering that cut in the second round.
I think any chance Alex Hilton had to win that fight went out the window with the cut. Hilton knew it was bad. He could tell that this fight was going to be stopped probably on the cut if it was allowed to go much longer. He went out and tried to knock out Stephane Ouellet in that third round, and he got caught by a very, very good fighter.
Well, he's not the only good Canadian world-class fighter now, Stephane Ouellet. What about Otis Grant?
Well, I say we have two great middleweights in this country right now. We've got two great middleweights in Montreal. Otis Grant, world champion, is going to defend his title in Ottawa on May the 12th against Aaron Davis. And a lot of people right now are talking about Stephane Ouellet and Otis Grant for the championship of the world and the championship of Montreal.
Is it possible Stephane Ouellet will be fighting another Hilton brother fairly soon?
Well, that's the other thing that's out there. You know, it's kind of like a wrestling promotion. At the press conference before this fight, Davey Hilton Jr., another of the fighting Hiltons, essentially challenged Ouellet. He said, my brother's going to knock you out, but if he doesn't, I'm going to knock you out. And I think that's probably a fight that at the Molson Center in Montreal you could probably still promote.
Yeah, I think you probably could. Well, good night for Interbox, their first gala, and we saw some good fights tonight on the five-bout card. What do you think about this in the future, maybe, for Interbox?
Well, I thought it showed a lot of very good things. It was a very good promotion. Obviously, it was a great atmosphere in the building. They've got a bunch of fighters under contract, all of whom look like they have world championship potential. And they've got a marquee guy at the top in Stephane Ouellet, who in Montreal is going to sell tickets and is going to be a big, big star.
Stephane Ouellet, he gets a belt, and Dale Brown gets to keep his, and also Shane Sutcliffe, the new heavyweight champ. State of Canadian boxing right now, difficult to say, I suppose, but there certainly are some bright spots and some big names on the world scene.
Well, that's it. We have some great fighters on the world scene. We have the Lennox Lewis's and Kirk Johnsons, but we need something like this, some serious promotion on the national level, on the local level, and I think maybe from Interbox we're going to get that.
It was a good night of fighting in general in Montreal. Over 11,000 there to see it at the Molson Center. That's it for our Interbox Fight Night. Thanks for joining us. For Stephen Brunt, I'm Rod Smith. Enjoy your evening, everyone. So long. Hitting that home run off Charlie Nagy, a couple of teams that were in the playoffs last year, although they did not meet, the Cleveland Indians and the Seattle Mariners. Let's take you diamond surfing now and go to opening day at the Kingdome. And Randy Johnson is on the mound facing the ex-Tiger Travis Fryman. Let's head there now.
That's his main objective now, just to make sure that he doesn't walk anyone. But the question is, how long does Lou want him to go anyway?
Brings up Travis Fryman for strikeout number 7. And now it brings up Sandy Alomar. There you go, in case you don't believe us. There it is, 7 Ks.
Well, look where that ball starts, way off the plate outside, and it just freezes the hitter. Look at that, sidearm breaking ball. It freezes the right-handed hitter, and there's nothing you can do. I actually think you can see that pitch better from the left-handed batter's box because you can pick up the spin.
Sandy Alomar, that's a one-hopper off the wall. Sandy into second base. The throw comes in from Junior. He's safe, and Sandy Alomar has now singled, homered, and doubled off Randy Johnson.
Well, he tried to trick him. He hit a fastball for a home run, so he came back with another fastball thinking he'd be looking for the slider, and he wasn't, and you can see Randy went out and said something to him.
Well, a little history between these two, and to get to it after the replay here, Joe. He went down and got that with a lot of power. The history between the two was the first game ever at Jacobs Field, opening day 94. Randy Johnson had a no-hitter against the Indians in the 8th inning until Alomar broke it up. The Indians eventually won in extra innings on a Wayne Kirby base hit, but Randy has one no-hitter, and Sandy wrecked another one.
Well, it's interesting that he walked out towards second base. You could see him walk out towards second base, and he was saying something to Sandy. So I couldn't fool you. Yeah.
A feature we'll have all year for you on TSN, Baseball Today and Baseball Tonight, Diamond Surfer. We look around the league and see what's going on and see that Randy Johnson, who had 20 wins last year, looking for his first one tonight against Cleveland. As we take another break here in our preview show, have a look at the scores from the National League so far today. We'll be back.
Esquire.
The Esquire Collection.
Jean Plenderleaf, Esquire.
Patrick Hodge, Esquire.
Make a name for yourself with a line of fashionable Swiss watches and a range of styles as individual as you.
Deborah Burstein, Esquire.
Michael Davidson.
Esquire. Catherine Berker, Esquire.
The Esquire 9500 SLX. Solid stainless steel with analog and digital quartz chronography. Esquire watch. It has your name on it.
Team Canada, Esquire!
This is bad. These long-distance calls are killing us. Hit save.
Did somebody say save?
Hey.
Sprint Canada charges just 15 cents a minute for calls and faxes, even during business hours. That's a saving.
Big savings.
Short calls are free and you're billed by the second.
Get the most savings plan for your business. Call 1-800-THE-MOST today.
Hey, Sprint Canada.
All right.
Just hit save.
The 1998 season is underway, and it officially begins for us tomorrow night at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Carlos Perez on the hill to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then Thursday, got Pat Henkin on the mound for Toronto.
Atlanta, I think they have something to prove after what happened last year.